Now, whenever a company releases their first version of a product, I usually think it's going to be a disappointment. But I'm not going to lie, the Pixel Fold is actually pretty good. Now, the Pixel Fold is specifically interesting for me because I had very low expectations when it came out, and rightfully so. It's the first time that Google has ever made a phone of this caliber. Some of the specs aren't the greatest to look at, and in general, foldable phones are just behind when compared to regular slab phones like the Galaxy S23 Ultra or even the Pixel 7 Pro. So before even getting my hands on it, I can't say that I was expecting much, but once I did get my hands on it, took my time getting adjusted to the software, camera, and most importantly, the hardware, my opinion has definitely changed for the better. And there were many things that I enjoyed while using my Pixel Fold, but just like any other first generation phone, there were some things that I wasn't fond of. So in this video, I will be giving you my real review based on my experience alone. The pros and cons that I have with the Pixel Fold is based on what I liked and disliked within the phone. And let me know down in the comments if you have the same or different opinion in regards to what you've experienced. Now, before I get into things that I liked, I want to share some of the different nitpicks all the way down to dislikes that I have had when it comes to the Pixel Fold. And the first problem that I came across is the app optimizations within the main screen. Now again, this was expected since this is Google's first foldable. The screen on the Fold is very different when compared to any other foldable, and also the fact that a lot of apps aren't even well optimized for the most notable foldable in the market, the Z Fold 4. But because this problem is normal still, doesn't make it any less annoying. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't view apps like Instagram, Twitter, or even YouTube Studio, which is an app made by Google. And don't get me wrong, I really do love that you get a well optimized version on the front screen and it looks really good, but I just don't see it as much of a benefit because why would someone buy a Pixel Fold where most apps only look good on a very small front screen when you can just go and buy the Pixel 7 Pro and have a much better experience using those apps? Yeah, Instagram does look great on the front screen of the Pixel Fold, but it looks even better on the front screen of the Pixel 7 Pro. See, the main reason that people buy foldables in the first place is because of the main screen. So hopefully Google and any other company making foldables can fix this problem sooner. Now, the next problem that I came across when using my Pixel Fold on a daily basis is the very slow charging speeds. And this was a problem for me because not only did my Fold charge much slower than I expected, it would also get hot as by the time I check my percentage. And to give you guys an example, usually at night, I forget to charge my phone. So every morning, I make sure to put whatever phone I'm using for the day on the charger. My showers usually last very long since I'm always singing my favorite songs. It takes a while to get my hair dry, and it takes me time to mentally prepare to take on a day, which is good because with all my phones, they're usually on at least 85% by the time I'm done, but that wasn't the case with my Pixel Fold. I would come out of the shower, check on my phone, it will be very hot and my percentage will be on 50 to 60%, which was pretty frustrating because it charged very slow and was also very concerning because I thought my phone's battery was getting cooked. And now the final major problem that I had when it came to the Pixel Fold is something that really diminishes the foldable experience, and that's the incredibly weak speakers. Now, remember when I said that optimization within the main screen is important when people are buying a foldable phone? Well, I will also say that speakers are damn near just as important because again, people are buying these foldable phones because of the main screen. So whenever a company makes a foldable, the best thing that you can do is make sure the experience of the main screen is the best that it can be. And just like most Pixels in general, I barely could hear anything when I was outside. For my recent day in the life, I went to Doghouse and was watching YouTube on the Pixel Fold, but I could barely hear and the volume was turned all the way up. And mind you, Doghouse only had about 3 customers, the music wasn't loud, and only the workers were talking. And this annoyed me because I've been in situations with the Galaxy S23 Ultra, and I wouldn't dare put the volume on max since the speakers are that loud. So hopefully Google can implement good speakers so that the main screen and front screen can be much more enjoyable to watch content on. Now, the last notes that I have regarding the Pixel Fold are definitely dislikes, but I wouldn't consider them major problems since they won't make or break your purchase decision. So I'm going to call them nitpicks and tell you why they annoy me. Now, my first nitpick on the Pixel Fold was the fact that the front screen's keyboard could get annoying at times. I'm not sure if this is a problem that's specific to me, but whenever I'm typing on my front screen, I found that I mess up and I missed my keys much more, which resulted in me having to go back and retype certain words or phrases. Even though I was using a regular Google keyboard, it felt like I was typing with the regular Samsung keyboard, which I also had many problems with. Another nitpick that I had was when I was using YouTube, I will be watching the video on the main screen and it wouldn't let me swipe down to exit the video. Like right here on my Pixel 7 Pro, you can see it lets me do it, but the Pixel Fold doesn't, which ties into the main screen needing to be more user-friendly because again, this is the main appeal of these phones. And the final set of nitpicks are on an even smaller scale. The fact that you kind of have to watch a video in zoom mode on the front screen since the front camera is partially in the way, or the fact that the app drawer for the main screen could be more full screen, or even the fact that the Pixel Fold doesn't fold completely flat. There were many things that I didn't like with my Pixel Fold, but again, it's much better than expected and the positives are still stronger. So what are the positives? Well, I would say that the main positive of the Pixel Fold is ironically the software. Now, whenever I'm using the front screen, I found the whole experience to be incredibly smooth. Apps fit into the 5.8-inch screen nicely. I tested out everything in all categories ranging from social media, games, and even scrolling through OS, and I had no problems at all. I feel like the main reason why I like the front screen is because it's so easy to use with one hand. I can reach to the top of the screen with no problem, and since it's a foldable, it has a great thickness to it, which gives it a premium feel that really feels good in the hand. And also, the 120Hz refresh rate really added to the experience by making it as smooth as ever. And I would pretty much say the same thing about the main screen. I think that the main benefit is the height. Watching videos on it looks amazing, and since there's no extra space on the top or bottom, you get a much better view than you would on the Z Fold 4 or an iPad. Software was the most impressive thing when it came to my experience with the main screen as well. I found multitasking to be very easy to use. I didn't get any hiccups or lags with it. The new dock looks great, and it looks very helpful when switching between apps. And my favorite thing about the main screen was using apps and settings that were well optimized. Like whenever I'm using Google Notes or any other Google app, I like that it worked as two screens as opposed to just being a blown up version of that. Battery life was okay, but much better than I expected. Most of the time I would just use the front screen. I mainly use social media apps, and I watched a lot of YouTube on the main screen, and I was still able to last for most of the day. On an average day, I'm getting 3 to 4 hours of battery life, and I would end my days with about 20% battery left. A lot of days my phone would die prematurely since I would be outside and my phone would overheat. I didn't cut any corners. I had 5G on the whole time. I rarely used power saving mode, and my brightness was on medium to high, and I used my phone in light mode during the day and night mode at night, so you can get better results if you take the extra steps to save battery. Now, moving on to camera, the Pixel Fold is pretty good when it comes to photos, and I really found it not that much different from the Pixel 7 Pro besides on the spec sheet. 48 megapixel main with a 10 megapixel telephoto and ultra wide. The most notable pictures were the selfies. Pixel has true tone color, so it was able to capture my skin tone very well. The sharpness could have been a little bit better, but it still looks really good when the lighting is right. The outside photos were pretty great as well. The vibrancy was something that truly stood out to me. Grass and other aspects of nature looked very nice, and the lighting was very well balanced. Inside photos were as good as the lighting allowed them to be, but if you can get natural light, it'll give you the same quality as the really good outside photos. Now, looking at videos, the Fold is able to shoot up to 4K at 60 frames per second, and I was very impressed all the way through. The colors were sharp, there wasn't any loudness in the background, and the stabilization was really good, but I wouldn't recommend shooting content on this phone since the build quality is pretty fragile compared to my Pixel 7 Pro. And also, here's some extra videos that I was able to get with my Pixel Fold. And alright you guys, that's it for my review on the Google Pixel Fold. It's a pretty good first attempt at a foldable, and I'm glad that Google has given Samsung some competition in the US market. It has a lot to improve on in terms of software, which is good since these things can be ironed out without you having to upgrade to a new phone, and I think that it's one of the foldable phones that's very easy to use. And let me know down in the comments, do you think that the Pixel Fold has the potential to be the best foldable in a couple of years? Let me know. And I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.